Sounds are so cool
Exciting.
when I like let someone in. Oop, oop.
Drum roll, please.
Hey.
Oh.
Okay, so now you got me. I got to change my background now because everybody's on the stage, and I thought I was being original.
Everyone's gonna know it's fake. They're gonna know you're not in Rotterdam.
See, I'm the weird one going with an outside shot, like social distancing be damned.
I tried to put a background on, and I don't have the right software or the right hardware, and so it just replaced all the dark parts. So like, if I opened my mouth, you'd see Sirhat's face, and it was just really.
Oh God! Oh God!
Okay, Matt.
Yes. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey.
Yes. Wonderful.
Hi.
Wow. So many familiar faces.
Hi.
Hey. How is everyone?
I'm good. How are you doing?
All right.
I'm all right. It's just that day, you know, it kind of hits you. You know, this is the day where you're supposed to be like in, you know, where, what part and what country,
Yep.
what event. And yeah, but
I'm
I'm not
virtually there.
Yeah, what are you talking about? We're there right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You can tell. You know, I'm sitting in front of the stage.
Okay, so everybody, I'm gonna be a good friend and I'm gonna run through the list. We are having a party here today. I am Alesia Michelle. Whoop, 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 whoop. We got Deban in the building. I'm literally going around me, so I'm not playing any favorites. So I'm going around in the grid. I got Deban over here. All right, I got Maxxy over here. Okay, right below me, I have Stuart. Over here, Isanne. Over here, I got Andy. And then below, I got Sam and I got Matt. All right, in the building. All right, okay, that's like my DJ shout out for my days promoting it on the radio station. Well, first of all, thank y'all all for joining me. It has been so nice to just connect and see some different faces, but y'all's faces aren't really that different to me because I see you on Twitter, I see you on Instagram, I see you on YouTube. You know, it's not that different, and for a lot of people at home, it's probably not that different. How have you been like holding up? Like, have some of y'all, are y'all like frontline? Anybody a frontline worker still having to go to work through this?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sam, what has that been like?
It's been a little weird. I mean, it's strange because I feel like my job and my position isn't necessarily something that would be considered frontline, but I work in property management. I'm the office manager for a property management company. So most people in the office can work from home and do, but somebody has to be in making sure the office doesn't, you know, implode upon itself. So I'm normally in the office for the first half of the day, basically make sure all the mail comes in, make sure everything is forwarded where it needs to be forwarded, you know, scanning everything out to everything else, making sure the office is still functioning. And then I go home at lunchtime and I take the PMs in and working from home. Well, technically my boyfriend's house, we're combining forces, but it's weird. Traffic, I've never seen it so light. But at the same time, now they're also doing a whole bunch more road construction. So make hay while the sun shines, I guess. It's a little surreal, knowing that I'm the only person at any given moment in my office who's probably wearing pants. It's a little weird. So it's surreal. I think, you know, to see a tumbleweed kind of roll through the office. It's strange, but it's becoming the new normal. And I'm kind of happy that it is, because I'm getting over the hump of what is weird and what's not. But I also hate the fact that this is the new normal, because I miss people.
Yeah, Andy, you rose your hand too.
I do property management as well, Sam. So we're probably in the same position. So I've got, like, I work with 60 other people that are working out on the ground in high risk situations. So it's funny, this whole situation, because you find out how valuable lowest paid people are, and they're the ones that are keeping our country going. So whatever the new normal is, I hope that those people get recognised, the nurses, the cleaners, you know, people collecting our rubbish every day, people working in shops. I hope there's a significant change for those people. So yeah, I have to do a shout out for them.
1,000 times over. Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, hashtag protect all workers. In my daily life, a lot of people might not know this at this point, I work at a labor union. And so that's like, and essentially every sector of work that we have are folks that are frontline workers, people who cannot work from home. And so it's been a very interesting time. But the thing is, we all have this thing called Eurovision in common. At least we have that to like bring a smile to our faces. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to throw out my first Eurovision 2020 question. Everyone can hop in how they want. We'll see how this goes. Now, the thing is, we're not going to have Babara Dex this year.
Yeah,
but I think you
very
already
true.
have hints of it.
Do we know? I'm like, do we know who Babara Dex would have been? Well, Deban, you kicked off, so clearly you have an idea of who you think it would be.
I think it'll be like a 4-way tie of just like, you know, this you can't isolate it down to one person. It would have been just a collective of really, I don't know. I think there were just quite a few basic. Oh my god.
Maxxy, I'm gonna pick on you. Who do you think would have been Babara Dex this year?
I'm trying to remember everybody. I feel like, okay, I really don't know who would have been the worst dressed, but I feel like Roxanne would have killed the looks. From following her, I know that she has like amazing style. And I watched one of her live performances. We have the same exact outfit. It's like this Renaissance painting thing. And I was like, so I know that she would have killed the looks. But I often wonder, like sometimes the most avant-garde, over the top, or like different things are what's considered like, you know, front runners for Babara Dex. So you never know. I feel like she's kind of experimental. So
you're so right, Kanan Osiris. How could that be Babara Dex? I mean,
I didn't agree.
I completely am with you guys. People just don't appreciate where it was coming from. It's unusual, which makes it weird, which I disagree.
Like, to me, if I'm doing Babara Dex of like, WTF were you wearing on stage / like, did you know where you were, or could you have just given me something like a look? I would have been kind of looking low-key at Mickey, like, you're having a party on stage looking like you're going to the funeral. Why are we in all black? Why are we in all black? Can I get a look? Can I get an outfit? Like, can I get something? Like, I mean, we're wearing a t-shirt and what? They were like rolled up jeans. I would have liked something. I prefer, give me a Conan over that. Like, I'd rather have like extra than like nothing at all.
There were a lot of interesting creative choices made for Spain last year, Alesia. Let's be honest, it didn't just stop at the outfits. We really need the Wicker Man halfway through. I mean, giant Billy bookcase. What? I mean, Spain, I love you. I love the song. It was like number 1 or 2 in our like little personal preview party that we had last year. But dear God, Dios mío.
Yeah, I just wanted a party. I wanted the party for Spain last year, and I was like, this is not the look for the party though, boo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that looking at the national finals, I think Australia would stand out, but they did say they would have changed it. So I'm a little careful with that. But that would have been my first guess. And now just going by hunch, looking at the song, looking at the singer, I could see Latvia going a little cray with the outfit because the song has a little bit of that what's going on kind of vibe. I don't mean that in a condescending manner. I just really it's like a little bit out of the box. So I could have seen Samantha Tina going a little cray with the outfit. That could have really thrown some people off, I guess. That would have been my guess.
If anything, I would have guessed that she would have maybe done like the little fringy thing that she'd been doing for so many of the performances. It would have been the red carpet look at the opening ceremony that I would have had my eye on her.
True.
That's when she would have gone for the crazy, and I would have lived for it.
I would agree with
to shout out to Samantha Tina. You try 6 times for Lithuania, Latvia, even considered Belarus. The 1 year you get it is the 1 year in 65 years that Eurovision doesn't happen.
All right, Stuart, I saw you trying to get in there.
Yeah, well, what Matt said about Australia, and like I say this kind of with a broken heart, because Australia is actually my favorite of the year. But you know, touching on what we were talking about with Conan last year, in the sense that her look is kind of avant-garde and it's out there and it's notable, and it's interesting that Babara Dex has been changed from worst dressed to most notable, right? So I would feel that people would choose it for that reason, even though I wouldn't agree with that choice. So that's really the artist that comes to mind. Maybe even like Axel because he was dressed quite plainly, and again, it's not something that I thought was bad, but I just think that some people would look at that like, why are you showing up looking, you know, with this kind of mixed color suit thing going on, you know?
But at least the jacket was long with Axel. You know, at least I was getting a different type of suit. You know what I mean? And not just like the t-shirt and jeans thing. I mean, I'm just over the I'm over the like, I'm a dude on stage and I'm wearing like a black t-shirt and some like denim.
Who wears jeans on stage? Like,
I mean, it's just like, I mean, give me a look. Like, you're supposed to be famous. Come on. You got budget.
And what about Russia? Did you guys like the outfits in the video?
Oh, that could have won Babara Dex.
That could have.
That could have won Babara Dex. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, actually, Matt, if Australia was gonna keep it, it probably was about to be her.
Yeah.
If she was gonna keep the clown,
yeah, the Mr. Mime look, yeah.
It's not she always say it's not a clown, it's a mime. Oh, something
but I mean,
like that.
I was saying this a little bit on the podcast. Sorry, one of the 2 podcasts that I work on because I, you know, have so much time on my hands. On 12 Points for America, we were talking about. I can kind of see how the look kind of fit into the song of if you're sort of this, you know, another Eurovision cliche, kind of puppet on a string, kind of being bound in this relationship, somebody's plaything, somebody's toy, emotionally, it works. But I had to like really dig into the lyrics in order to get that. So it's like you want it to be a little bit more immediate instead of, oh, ladies in cloud makeup. There was a kernel of an idea there, but it hadn't quite sprouted yet. And I was looking to see if it would.
My whole thing was that I feel like I really like her style in general. If any of you guys have seen some of the other looks that she's done for her music videos and albums and whatnot, she's got a great sense of style. I think the issue was that she was kind of getting lost in her version of looking like a clown or a marionette. And I would just like to still see that it's Montaigne, not Montaigne in a costume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like she's narrowed that down a little bit more with some of the other things that she's done.
That's real. I think that's an interesting way of looking at it. It's like, and I think that was my issue. I said this in like my review of it. You don't want it to distract. Like once it becomes distracting, you failed.
Yeah.
Like, because the thing is, the song was good to me. The song was good, but I'm fixating more on like how you're presenting it as opposed to what you actually presented, which is not, you know, that's not what you want to do. We don't want to do that. So we kind of open and we're talking about like our favorite Eurovision years. And so some of us that were on here earlier kind of already like, I think touched on Eurovision 2020, but I'm going to pick on you, Andy, Stuart, Matt, and Sam a little bit. How do you think in the comparison of your canon of Eurovision favorites, how do you think that Eurovision 2020 would have stacked up for you?
Would have been amazing. I think it potentially could have been the best Eurovision ever. What? I think you've got Netherlands waiting. In terms of hosting, the Netherlands have been waiting for so long. They were ready.
That's true.
Putting everything into it. The stage design looked amazing. Everything was going to plan. And then this. I think it would have been really well organised. I loved the songs this year as well. There was probably like one or two songs that I might skip in a playlist, but I thought the song quality this year was really good. I was so excited because I know how much passion there is in the Netherlands.
You guys have anything to say?
Oh,
I'm just saying, if you are not experiencing this in grid view, I encourage you to experience this in grid view.
Oh, the songs this year, I don't know, guys. I don't know.
I have to say, like, Isanne, because you are a Netherlands representative.
I know. So, I mean, I love my country. And I think it would have been, the organization and everything would have been great. And it would be great next year. But the songs, I don't know. I'm just, in a way, I'm glad. Well, no. Okay, I can't say it actually. But I have to say it. In a way, I am sort of glad that, you know, some songs are just not coming back to Eurovision.
They're just not coming back, and we don't need them, you know. And I really feel sorry for the songwriter who's like really upset.
I agree.
Because, and you know what? Selfishly, I don't care for these songs, but he's upset because the ones that I like are his songs. And you know, when you know you've worked so hard, you've actually put an effort. But you know, another thing that really annoys me is that everybody's like, oh, we'll do a revamp. Boo.
Of what?
To revamp the song. A revamp is a rescue operation. No, ideally your song should not require a revamp. Or do an Eurolosco, just come up with a new song.
Yeah.
Completely ditch the chameleon, come up with something new.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
My God, the songs are so bad. So bad.
But Andy had a different opinion about it, right? You
Well,
thought
wait,
the songs were really good.
No, but Matt,
I think
I see
the thing
Matt
about
trying to get
Eurovision-
in.
No, I was just like, finish your thought. I was just going to agree and give some support for Andy because I agree with him actually on this one.
Really?
Yes,
Oh my God.
I thought it's a great year musically. There were very
Really?
few songs that are on my personal skip list. The last few years, 2-3 years, have been really good in Eurovision terms, according to my taste. And this year in particular is very unique because the last few years, I've kind of been in agreement with the masses, like the majority of the fan favorites. This year, I like so many of the less appreciated songs, and that makes it a lot of fun for me. So, and I know that the Netherlands would have done a fantastic, phenomenal job hosting it, so I'm not worried about that. The music was there for me. There were so many underdogs. I was really excited about this one, so I'm especially bummed out.
I agree. I also really liked a lot of the songs from this year, and like usually in the years in the past, there's always a handful that I just like can't stand and don't want to hear. And this year, there's certainly songs that I didn't really care for, but it was only a few of them. And for the most part, like I was happy to listen to anything. And I also followed a lot of the national finals this year, and I think certainly going to be a hot take for some people, but I think that for the most part, the best choices were made. But I mean, that's the kind of person that I am. I like the understated songs. I like the songs that show real ambition on you know, in their visual performance and in the style of music that they bring. And I think that's different from how Eurovision used to be in the past. So I don't know. I would have been really thrilled to see these songs even come back for 2021. But I mean, there are certain ones that I'm definitely happy to see artists take a second take with. But yeah, overall it was pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I think we need to remember as well that when you see a song staged on the Eurovision stage, it can bring a song to life and give a totally different perspective and feeling for that song. So
Absolutely.
we haven't seen these songs properly staged, and that's what Eurovision is. It's kind of the whole package, really. And I think the Netherlands would have staged these entries fantastically. You know, like I said, the stage was great, so it would have been really interesting to see what they'd come up with.
I have to say one thing that really just it is just so painful for me, and not only for me, but this year would have been such a diverse year when it comes to diversity. My God, I was so happy. I remember that a couple years ago, I wrote a Facebook post about that I really like Eurovision, but it would just be so great if there were, you know, if it would be a little bit more diverse. And I feel that it's just heartbreaking that the mamas will not come back next year. And
one of many. I mean,
and what's going to happen with and Denmark and there's Czech Republic is the guy come, you know, that, and we don't know about Malta.
Malta, yeah.
We don't.
And Malta hasn't confirmed. It's gonna be Destiny though. I mean,
it better.
There's no other option.
It has to be.
I know that the X Factor is such a huge.
I'd love it to be Destiny, and I think the whole of Malta would love it to be Destiny. But here's the tricky thing: so if you've won, well, X Factor is now the selection process for Malta, and if you've won X Factor, you cannot re-enter.
Right.
She's won X Factor. Technically, she can't come back.
Right.
Well, they don't have to use the show next year.
They
weren't even sure if they're going to do it this year.
It's such a ratings draw on multinational television now. I mean, are they going to want to relinquish that? I mean, we have an emotional connection with these artists, but we also have to remember this is a TV show. Yeah. And for these broadcasters, ratings are huge and ratings are very, very important. So I want Destiny to go. Believe me, I was in the arena. You know, Deban, you were there in Sofia and as well to see Destiny take her first win. And I totally expect to be in the arena when Destiny takes her eventual second win at a Eurovision contest, because she absolutely bloody deserves it.
Amazing. Yeah.
But
so it's interesting. I want to shift a little bit because we kind of already touched on this a little bit. And we know like Eurovision is a little bit, it is the full package. Who do we think would have brought it on stage?
Oh God.
Oof.
I would have been excited / terrified to see what Azerbaijan did, because with a song like Cleopatra, you are not going to go subtle. And for a country like Azerbaijan, they're not going to go subtle. So that would have been unbelievable to see. I would have expected at least 5 costume changes, all of the pyros. It would have been crazy. So I'm slightly brokenhearted that we're not going to see that next year, or this year, or next year, really. But part of me is hoping
Azerbaijan will have something great next year.
Oh, I know.
I think we overcredit them sometimes. I mean, Dilara Kazimova, that was such a missed opportunity because there was such a good song. And what happened? Hour of the Wolf by Elnur Huseynov. Again, what was that interpretive thing? You know, they've got it right for like Farid Mammadov. There's some moments when they really got it right. But then other times, you know, even Izel on those mountain peaks, you know, there could have been a million other ways to stage it.
Or Chingiz doing his like ascending to the heavens thing. That to me was like, what the hell?
It's what the hell, but it's memorable, and it's what Azerbaijan
it's memorable.
Yeah, I know, that's true.
Azerbaijan was about to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. And I will say, I think Romania has a tendency to do too much on stage sometimes. And so I was holding my breath for Romania this year, because especially with an understated song, I was kind of like, oh Lord, please, please let them keep it together, because we know Romania wants to do it and do it up big. And they definitely could have done it up extra on the stage. Yeah, Matt, what are you thinking? Who do you think really would have killed it?
I had to go through the list real quick in my head, and I hadn't gotten to the end yet. But I'm going to say something probably not controversial, but maybe unpopular. But I think Moldova would have brought it. They always know how to put some crazy staging together. And by crazy, I mean good crazy, not bad crazy. Look at the songs. They're often being just criticized left and right, and then they do really well at the contest. Talk about My Lucky Day doing, even though it felt like a little bit high schooly performance, but it worked. Even last year, even though it didn't qualify, it still was like 7th place with the juries or something like that. So they always come up with something, and I know, knowing the team that would have been involved, they would have done something amazing. So that was the one that I think people were sleeping on.
Absolutely. Anytime Kirkorov is anywhere in the building when it comes to a song, you know something interesting is going to happen.
Yes.
Definitely. Definitely. Anyone felt like there were any dark horse winners? Because we know that like the favorites. Do you think that this was the year, a year potentially for a little bit of a surprise?
The Netherlands will be a dark horse, to be honest.
Agreed.
For the win though, yeah?
For the win. So I'm just adding that, like any potential people that could have, and let's just say like maybe ended up finishing like top 5, but could have been edging their way up for a win. And I have one country that I say, I think the song, unfortunately, because of when things started to take a turn in Europe and the conversations of the competition not happening, I'm gonna say, I think Malta never really had their wave of hype that I felt like was coming.
Yeah.
And I just think ultimately because of where everything fell when the song was dropped, it just never quite got that edge. But ultimately, I think would have done really well. Could have potentially been a jury winner. I say that comfortably. So I kind of feel like Malta would have ended up maybe edging. I don't know about with the televote, because, you know, just given historical stuff and, you know, and I think the hype of a lot of the other entries, but I don't think it would have been forgotten. And I think it would have ended up finishing higher than a lot of us maybe would have clocked it for.
I think it would have comfortably been in the top 5.
Yeah.
I really think so. And in terms of staging, touching on the earlier question you asked, I think that Australia would have really brought the A game with the staging. I think that they were looking at going big.
They always do.
Yeah, I think they were looking at going big. And I think Cyprus also had very surprising.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, I think Cyprus were really gonna, you know, and personally, you know, I have my reservations on the song, but you know, it's a house track, and it's different. You know, when you've sat through ballads and pop bangers, and it actually is something quite different. And I think when you stage that in a very creative way, I think it could have slipped in. I did a, you know, I chose my sort of 10 qualifiers, and I didn't include Cyprus, but almost immediately I thought, actually, no, this could have actually inched in. I mean, not for the top, but it would have been left-hand side of the sort of final scoreboard, maybe. Who knows?
I think the staging for Cyprus would have been really, really slick.
Yeah.
And I would have been excited to see it.
There's one that I...
What about Greece?
Greece could have played two very different ways. If they really kind of highlighted the fact that she was a young artist and really made it feel like a slightly elevated junior entry, it could have face planted, or it could have really appealed to a younger audience.
I think so.
The song feels like something out of a CW, you know, CW series to me, and maybe I'm just too old for it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in my mid-30s, so I've just aged out of it. But
I know what you mean.
What do I know?
I don't know. I think I'm going to end up changing my handle to like Eurovision Mom, because I do just find myself like, and I wonder if it is because I'm getting older. I don't know. But like, I find, and if you've watched any of my videos, you would notice that maybe there's a slight shift, like where I just get so troubled by some of these young girls, like out there in booty shorts and crop tops. Like, why are you in booty shorts and a crop top? So, like, put some clothes on. Like, where are the clothes? You need an outfit, young lady.
I don't think she's that sexualized.
No, but she isn't. And that's what I liked about Greece's entry. And I think they would have kept it fresh. I think it would have been age appropriate. And I think it would have been really cute, and cute in a way that even though it might not be like my jam to like listen to in the car, I think I would have appreciated the stage show.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, girl.
Yeah, and she has really good stage presence. I mean, if we remember her entry in Junior Eurovision,
So pretty.
She just commands like a stage completely. And even though she's like a younger performer, and same with Destiny. I mean, I think that's like one of the great things about both of them is, despite them being both so young, they both have that kind of experience on the stage, and they really can like deliver. So I would have been excited to see what she would have brought. I don't know. I love the song personally. It's probably one of the few this year that I do listen to a lot, but at the same time, I have no idea how they would have staged it, because they kind of have like a bad reputation with staging. And I don't know. I don't know how that would have all gone. Like,
I think. I don't want to go on.
Part of me is just imagining that. You go.
No, Sam, ladies first.
Oh, I was going to say, I was just hoping that there was some sort of aerial element going on with her. You know, bring it into the video, have her fly, because anything is possible at Eurovision. Let's be honest. Just hook her up and let her go. All right, Eddie, how about you?
Love it. I was just going to say, I was with Maxxy. I have no idea how they would have staged that song. You know, they couldn't really recreate the video like some countries do. I think they would have come up with something novel and a standout factor, because there was a lot of effort behind Stefania, I think. I mentioned another song, Alesia.
Yes, of course.
Can I say Benny Cristo as well is another one?
Love.
Yes, I was so excited about seeing that on stage and what they were gonna bring. I know there was like 19 different versions of it in the end, but
my African heart is hurting.
A feel-good track and one of my top 5 of this year.
Yeah, I think Czech Republic, I had them qualifying. I did have Cyprus on my like, maybe like, I thought it was going to edge in. I thought Cyprus was just going to edge their way into the semi, I think in large part because of the fact that in that bunch, it stood out, and I thought the staging was going to be done impeccably. I mean, Cyprus knows what they're doing. But I'm going to shift a little bit. We're going to shift to, I did a whole video on this, like a whole live stream, and I asked it on Twitter, and it's interesting. And the question is the most overhyped song of 2020.